Hello, Steve 89. Well, we have some sad news from the set of Batwoman. Um, no, nobody died. No, nobody's been injured again. Ruby Rose has quit, and I didn't see that coming. And when I first heard this, I've been watching stories and videos all day. I should have made a video hours ago, but who am I competing with? I'm nobody. I can take my time. No one's watching anyway. Um, she just up and quit, and no one saw it coming. Now, when I first heard it, I thought maybe it was because she had an accident, a fairly serious accident, a little while ago, and bruised or not ruptured, bruised. I think bruised two discs. Herniated. I don't know. She could have been paralyzed. She had a serious operation. Um, and maybe it wasn't what she signed up for, but in the article they actually say that's not what it was, which is interesting because I would have thought that would have been what made me quit, because there's an expectation of a certain physicality for an action star, and with the Batwoman costume and all of that and the fighting, and it would have been quite difficult. And I'm guessing it might have been more that. And that's it. Everyone's guessing. Now, there are a few people who are just dancing on the grave because they feel like the show's dead, it's going to get cancelled, they're going to use this as an excuse, not being able to find another actress as an excuse to cancel it. But I don't see that coming because the show didn't really rate in the first place, but they still kept it on because it's there for an agenda. It's there because they want an LGBT representative action hero, and they got it, and they were gonna stick with it, regardless of whether anyone watched, because they got down to 1.2 million viewers by the last episode. So not a lot of people are watching. Although it still, I think, was third with like the Arrowverse sort of shows. So it didn't do. I guess it didn't do bad comparatively, but apparently they're all suffering because well, Arrow was ending. Supposedly, Supergirl has gone full woke. Now, I saw the first season, loved it. I bought the second and third seasons, have not had the time to watch them. But I hear it went really bad. But then again, the people that say that have been unreliable because they told me Shira was awful. And I watched the first season, and aside from the fact it was juvenile, and they replaced a redheaded character with a black character, which is just becoming a really irritating cliche that doesn't really increase diversity but just replaces one with another, rather than just getting rid of some of the white people and making them black and keeping the redheads. Um, so, and I know I'm not supposed to say I have a friend who's always telling me not to say but if I didn't say I wouldn't be me. So, um, uh, I'm just surprised. I'm disappointed because I haven't even seen the show, and I don't know how to invest in the first season, knowing it's like she's gone by this next season. And some very cold bitches said, well, they can stick anyone in that suit. It doesn't matter because all you see is the face anyway, and saying that Ruby can't act and all that. I think that's all it mean. But I haven't seen the show. I don't actually know how well she did. Everyone said she did bad, but people were gunning for the show anyway. So it's very hard to tell the fair reviewers. Now, Grace Randolph seemed to really like the show, and she supported it. And although she wasn't very happy with Ruby leaving, she felt it was ungrateful and will hurt the show, will hurt her career, and possibly now the reasons for her leaving are speculative. Um, Basically, seems to be more of a character issue that they didn't like her, or she didn't like them, or working in the show, the format. There's something that just didn't work on that level, and they both mutually, her and the producers, decided that it was best for her to leave. I'm trying to think how many times this has happened where a character in the first season had been replaced. Now, technically, it happened with Roseanne because they fired her when she came back, and they killed her, and they had just the show's gone on without her. And that happened with Valerie Harper in the 80s. She had a problem with something. I don't know if it was money. I lost the word. And she basically said, she stood up for something, said, you can't fire me, I'm the lead of the show. So they killed the character, fired her, killed the character, and replaced the character with a cousin, and then called it Valerie's Family. So are they going to just recast the character like they did with the two Darrens in Bewitched, which people have been carrying on about for 50 years? Um, or I don't know. People are sort of saying the show is going to die because that you just can't make this sort of shift with the lead character in a series. Now they did it with Superboy, which I just remembered. The first Superboy was hot. I loved him. I could just freeze frame half the shots of him and just like stare at it. I didn't need to really watch the character. I mean, he was just hot. He was gorgeous, and they got rid of him because apparently he was difficult. So if you're difficult on a sci-fi action show, they'll get rid of you apparently. If it's because those shows, it's about the character, it's about the genre. It's not really about the actress, the actor. Whereas like a sitcom, it's really just about the star. So I think they feel you're a bit more disposable. I think that's a bit of it, maybe. The other argument was that she wasn't gay enough. She wasn't fluid enough. She wasn't Jewish enough. She wasn't. There was just this push for her to be to have the exact character. Like I don't know if they wanted to just make her just appear like real, like emerge as like a real being, or what this push to make she had to be exactly what that character was. And that's kind of missing the whole point of casting an actor that creates the character, because that character isn't them. So it was all a bit crazy, and Twitter basically chased her off because she wasn't gay enough. And people like me, and surprisingly a lot of other people like um, uh, Clownfish TV and all that, they actually were really supporting her, that it's just ridiculous that she wasn't gay enough. So I hope it wasn't that, but we'll see if they cast the best. They're basically going to cast another LGBT person to play her, and they're obviously going to get the person they wanted the first time because they didn't get it this time. So the second time because they didn't get it the first time. I can't speak. I don't know why. I'm not tired. It's only like 12 o'clock here. But yeah, I know it's just sad. I mean, I find Ruby kind of cute. I mean, I like her. I haven't seen the show, but everything I've seen her in, I liked her. So I was looking forward to her being Batwoman. I sort of didn't have a problem with it. I was turned off by the publicity because they were going for offending people and threatening masculinity and just insulting Batman fans and all that, just to get attention, to stir up drama, which is usually what the marketing people do. They just want to stir up drama, get attention. They don't actually care about representing the show and actually letting you know what you're in for. They just want to get attention. That's what they're made for, just to make attention, not to actually represent the show and get people into what the show is. So a lot like Captain Marvel and a few other things, they really did just stir the pot for the sake of clicks and Instagram and Twitter and just attention, and very much misrepresent the show and turn a lot of fans against it, which just really serves no purpose. I mean, maybe they get paid for their marketing push, but they don't actually deliver an audience to a show. So, but I'm just looking now. Last time I saw, the show was down to 13 on the Rotten Tomatoes. Average for the season was 1.7 million, which is not great, but apparently for CW it's not really bad. And I'm trying to remember what they used to get, what the ratings they used to have back in the day when they had like Smallville and stuff on there. I think that got like 5 million or something. I keep uh-oh. So yes, apparently it's a difficult decision for her. She loves the crew, both in New York and Canada. LA and Canada, and just wasn't a good fit. Nobody saw it coming. No one really No one knew it was happening. And I don't really have anything else to say. I'm just surprised. I just sort of wanted to make a video because I sort of covered her being cast and being in the show and that. And I don't even know if we have it in Australia. I just lost all interest. They